hi, Alyssa, hope you're well. Hope little Timmy's doing great in baseball. I'll look at it as soon as I can. That shift, that simple shift that each and every one of you guys can do now is incredibly important in generating creativity. How? Because Alyssa might say, you know what? Oh, yeah, little Timmy's doing great. You know, we met Barbara and Sam there. And I could be, oh, Barbara and Sam, I haven't talked to them in forever. Those are the two editors at Inc. magazine. Maybe I should talk to them. And it just spins out of control. And it's a wonderful out of control. It's a creative, non-analytical out of control. And we need to embrace those moments. That is creativity happening. All right, the disease of self-doubt. We need to start to get ideas out into the world and stop crushing them before they're born. Humanity has one of the worst diseases in taking away our own spark that we have. Has this ever happened to you when you get a really good idea and you're like, man, I don't know, I'd really like to try that idea out. And as soon as you think about it, you immediately clamp down and you throw it away. You're like, oh no, nobody will take me seriously. That's not an idea I want to use. That idea that you just had could mean the difference between life and death. It could mean the difference between incredible success and marginal success. It could mean the difference between failure and an incredibly wonderful achievement. So, how do you get rid of that pestering sort of voice? What you do is you start to write stuff down. Now, I love Post-its. 3M doesn't give me a penny. I speak at their conferences once in a while. They're great. They're very serious people. They're a chemical company. You think, oh, Post-its, they're fun, whatever. They're very, very serious people. We're not going to record that part. That part doesn't. So I buy lots of Post-its, and I use them all the time. If you were to look at my office, I should probably put it up. It looks like it's covered in, so I write everything down. Now, another red line from McGraw, they're like, well, who cares what you do, Nir? Is that provable? I was like, yeah, I think. And then I found the proof. There's significant literature that says that when you write something down, it changes it from a mindset to a practicality. And the brain deals with it differently once you write it down. I run groups where I help people write stuff down so that they feel creativity happening. They literally see their ideas down on paper, and the weight of it lifts off their shoulders. You wait a day or two or a week, whatever works for you, and then you relook at your notes. Some of it might be golden, like, wow, cool, I came up with some really good ideas. Some of it might be horrible, and that's okay. But when you write stuff down, you don't automatically self-edit every idea that you might have that might be incredibly, incredibly great. I will leave you with this thought. The world is in a state of complete chaos, and never more than today is creativity and innovation the cornerstone of humanity's real transformation, okay? And what I'd like to leave you with is the thought that creativity doesn't have to cost anything. It doesn't have to be some great program that you roll out. It can literally be a teacher greeting a class by letting the kids choose how they want to be greeted. Okay, that thing costs a penny to print out. Okay, it's zero tech. And literally the kids touch it and they come into the class. She put it up because the kids were like, some kids wanted a hug. So she would hug all the kids. And then some kids were like, I don't want a hug. You know how kids are, right? I mean, especially that age. So she needed a way to greet them on a way that made sense to them and a way that was approachable to the kids. So she put that up. Now, every time the kids come in the room, they get to be greeted on their own terms. What in your company, in your line of work, at the office, even at home remote, can you do that costs very little to nothing, but has an amazing potential to solve problems? What can you do? Have you guys heard of the band Aerosmith? You know them? You know, Aerosmith, yeah, they're famous. So what Aerosmith does that costs literally nothing is they have a meeting, okay, every Monday morning. They've had it 30 long years. I know you might be saying, Nir, what, enough with the meetings, right? But listen, hear me out and see if this works. They have a meeting and they call it the Silly Idea Meeting. The Silly Idea Meeting is all about somebody coming to a 15-minute meeting where they have a silly idea about a song that they should do, okay? And there's a lot of silly ideas that come up in those meetings. They're like, let's make a song about a microphone. And people are like, microphone, I don't want to do that. But that meeting is where Dude Looks Like a Lady came from. That meeting is where Love in an Elevator came from. Literally, those meetings. So I wonder if you were to replace some of your meetings with, I don't know, a silly meeting session where you get your staff together or your team and you say, all right, everybody, let's throw some ideas on the wall, just like this, that might be horrible, and create an environment that fosters that attempt to go out there and come up with something different, something new, something that will solve the problem that you're facing. You know your problems better than I do. You know your issues, and you will be learning a lot through this conference on pinpointing those issues and how to deal with them and so on and so forth. But if you apply a little bit of innovation, a little bit of creativity to that problem solving, even if it's something that the team does with you, I think you will find your ability as a manager, as an employee, as a leader to overcome issues incredibly elevated. And you will find that you are able to deal with things and to foster a community that is able to help solve problems. There is nothing more than that people like than being able to rely on coworkers and rely on their community at work to be able to solve problems. The silly meeting is something that you can do. There's 10,000 other ideas. You hold the key to that lock in your heart. Being able to tap into that is something that we need to be able to do and that we can totally accomplish. As promised, that is my real phone number, okay? I'd be happy to hear from you. You shoot me a text or whatnot. I'm on the internet. I'm incredibly easy. I don't have a program. Look at my website and it's for $19.99. But wait, there's more. There's nothing like that. It is literally this gift that I'm able to give to you all so that you can solve those incredibly pressing and important problems at work in a better and different way. I thank you deeply for having me today, and I cannot wait to see you guys. Is it next door?